Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with exercise 5.1. Question number 1. Here you have to say whether the following statements are true or false. I am expecting all of you to have the textbook with you. Question number 1, first part. Only one line can pass through a single point. This is a false statement because infinitely many lines can pass through a given point. Question number 1, second part. There are infinite number of lines which pass through two distinct points. We all are aware that through two distinct points, only one line can pass through them. So this statement is false. Third, a terminated line can be produced indefinitely on both the sides. This is true statement by postulate 2. That means a terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Fourth, if two circles are equal, then their radii are equal. This is again a true statement because equal circles coincide with each other and therefore their radii will be equal. Fifth statement, here two lines are given AB and PQ. If AB is equal to PQ and PQ is equal to XY, then we have to show that AB is equal to XY. This is again a true statement. We know why. This is by Euclid's axiom number 1. That things which are equal to the same things are equal to one another. Now, question number 2. In question number 2, we have to define the given terms and we have to say whether there are other terms that are needed to be defined first. What are they and how might you define them? The terms are parallel lines, perpendicular lines, line segment, radius of a circle and square. We all are aware about the definitions of them. But what are the undefined terms for them? Like for parallel lines, they are lines and planes. These terms are to be defined first before we define the parallel lines. Means you should be aware what are lines and what are planes before you should know what are parallel lines. Similarly, when we define perpendicular lines, we should know what are right angles. So undefined term are right angle only. Next is line segment. Line segment, the definition is the part of a line is a line segment. Therefore, what is part of line? We should know. Radius of a circle, for this we should know what is the center, and for a square we should know what is a rectangle, because square we know it is a rectangle having all sides equal. Therefore, these are the undefined terms for defining these given terms. Now come to question number 3. Question number 3 says, consider two postulates given below. They are given any two distinct points A and B, there exists a third point C which is in between A and B. There exist at least 3 points that are not on the same line. They are asking, do these postulates contain any undefined terms? Yes, these postulates contain undefined terms. What are the undefined terms? They are point, line and distinct point. Whether this statement is consistent? This statement is consistent because there are two different situations we are talking about. Point C lies between A and B, that is on the line. Or point C is not lying on the line through A and B. It is somewhere else, not on the line. Okay. So these are undefined terms. Then next question is, do these follow from Euclid's postulate? Explain. They do not follow any Euclid's postulate. However, Euclid's axiom is followed here. What is that axiom? They follow that two distinct given points, there is a given unique line that passes through them. Means for two distinct points, there is only one line, a unique line that passes through them. That axiom is to be followed, not the postulate. Now come to question number 4. Question number 4 says, if a point C lies between 2 points A and B such that AC is equal to BC, then prove that AC is equal to half of AB, and we have to explain it by drawing the figure. So this is the figure. Here C is the point which is lying between A and B. So given AC is equal to BC, we have to prove that AC is equal to half of AB. So let us see what is the proof. Proof says, it is given that AC is equal to BC. If I am adding AC to both the sides, this is by Euclid's axiom number 2, that we are adding equal things to both of the sides. Here it is 2AC which is giving you BC plus AC. BC plus AC is actually the entire line AB. So this is AB, or you may say AC is equal to half of AB. This is how it is proved. We have used Euclid's axiom number 2. Axiom number 2, that is to be mentioned. This statement is to be written there. Question number 5. Question 5 says that you have to prove that every line segment has one and only one endpoint. Let me explain you how it is. Question number 5. For the time being, we will consider that there are two midpoints. Let there be a line A and B in which there are two midpoints C and D. Let us consider that there are two midpoints C and D. So if we consider C as the midpoint, then we know AC should be equal to half of AB. We have proved it earlier. And if D is the midpoint, then AD should be equal to half of AB. You can see the right hand side for both of the statements is same. So we know again, this is by Euclid's axiom, that things which are half to the same thing, they are equal to one another. So we have to say that AC should be equal to AD. AC should be equal to AD. How is it possible? It is possible only if C and D are coinciding. That means our assumption that C and D are two midpoints of AB may be wrong, and hence a line segment has only one endpoints, not two or not more than one. So this is how question number 5 is. Let me explain you now question number 6. Question number 6, it is given that AB is equal to AC is equal to BD, then prove that AB is equal to CD. Question number 6. It is given that a line in which A, B, C and D, 4 points are shown, where it is said that AC is equal to BD. To prove, we have to prove that AB is equal to CD. See, AC is equal to BD. That means if we subtract this BC part from both of them, AC minus BC, and here BD minus BC. Now AC minus BC, AC minus this dotted part. So it remains AB only. So this is AB. Right hand side BD, entire part from which this dotted part I am subtracting, we get CD. This is what we have to prove. And which axiom we have used here? See, we have subtracted something same from both the sides. So the axiom says that if we subtract same things from both the sides, that is axiom number 3, the resulting numbers are again same. So this is how we have to do question number 6. Question 7 says that why in axiom 5 in the list of Euclid's axiom consider